The oldest stories ever told are written in the stars. Stories of time before man and gods, when Titans ruled the earth.
Well, there were actually some gods before the Titans, if you count the primordial gods. I mean, 2 of those gods were actually the Titans' parents.
The Titans were powerful, but their reign was ended by their own sons, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades.
And daughters, Hera, Demeter, and Hestia. Let's not be sexist here, give the women their dues.
Zeus convinced his brother Hades to create a beast so strong it could defeat their parents. And from his own flesh, Hades gave birth to an unspeakable horror. The Kraken.
Oh boy, a lot of things to point out here. First, Hades did not create any monsters during the Titanomachy. Second, the Kraken isn't even from Greek mythology. The Kraken is a giant octopus in Norse mythology. The sea monster from the Perseus story, who is being adapted in this movie, is actually named Cetus in Greek mythology. Third, Cetus is in no way associated with Hades. That creature serves Poseidon.
It was Zeus who created man.
No, he didn't. Prometheus did that. I mean, technically there are stories that Zeus made some of the older generations of man, but those stories also end with Zeus killing them all. So, he can't really take credit for any modern humans. Perseus's mother was not dead when the box was open. She survives the entire story. In fact, she's the reason for the entire story, since the only reason Perseus gets sent on his journey is because an evil king wants to try to bang his mom against her will while he's away. Ah, Greece.
To whom do we direct our gratitude for this glorious bounty?
Spiros, please.
The fisherman who found and raised Perseus was named Dictys, not Spiros, and he didn't have any other children despite having one in this film. Since these are flying minions of Hades, I'm assuming they're supposed to be harpies, and harpies do not look like that. Harpies appear as feathered birds with the heads of women. The fisherman did not tragically die in the myth. He actually ended up becoming a king.
Go. Do what you will.
Father, we need the mortals.
No, Apollo.
What's that weapon Apollo's wielding? It doesn't look like a bow. In this film, the land that angers the gods and is home to Princess Andromeda is Argos. But in the myth, that land was Ethiopia. Argos was the land where Perseus was born.
To King Cepheus! To Queen Cassiopeia!
Look at my daughter.
Don't.
What could be more divine than her face? More beautiful than all the women of Greece, more beautiful than Aphrodite herself.
Queen Cassiopeia didn't say her daughter was prettier than Aphrodite. That was Queen Cenchraias, in a completely different story. Queen Cassiopeia said that her daughter was prettier than all the Nereids, the goddesses of the sea, and she was punished for it. So yeah, she was still stupid, just a slightly different kind of stupid.
Who are you?
I am Hades.
This movie has Hades as an evil villain who casually slaughters people and plans to take over Olympus. As I've stated before, Hades is a pretty neutral god, not particularly evil, and never seemed to have any desire to rule Olympus. People back then did fear him, but really only because his presence indicated that death was near. He is for sure not the villain of the Perseus story. He actually helps Perseus in some tellings.
What do you know of beauty? What is more beautiful than death? Gaze upon me, mortal queen.
That's not how Cassiopeia died. She was turned to stone when she accidentally looked at the head of Medusa.
In 10 days, when the sun is eclipsed, I will unleash the Kraken.
The sea monster wasn't unleashed by Hades, it was unleashed by Poseidon as punishment for what the stupid queen said.
Destruction or sacrifice. This is the will of Zeus. The will of your father.
Perseus always knew who his father was. It wasn't revealed in his adulthood.
You can save us. You must save us.
I can't save you, I'm just a man.
King Cepheus tasks Perseus with killing the sea monster and saving Andromeda in this film. But in the myth, Perseus's journey began when he was tasked with killing Medusa by King Polydectes. He just happened to kill the sea monster and save Andromeda on his way home.
My name is Io, Perseus.
How do you know me?
I've watched you all your life.
A few moments later.
In a very weird decision, this movie has Io as Perseus's love interest. In the myth, his love interest is the Princess Andromeda. Io is actually Perseus's ancestor, so this is pretty gross, Hollywood. Greek mythology is gross enough as it is. We don't need you to make it even grosser.
I guided you to your family.
No, you didn't. Zeus did. It's one of the few times Zeus actually acted like a father.
Many years ago, I refused a god's advance. I was cursed with agelessness.
That's not what happened. Io was one of Zeus's lovers, then Zeus turned her into a cow to hide her from Hera, then a bunch of weird stuff happened, and, well, long story short, she ended up in Egypt.
The story of your birth began with the rebellion of King Acrisius. Mankind had grown tired of the gods' mistreatment and cruelty. Acrisius led a siege on Olympus.
No, he didn't. That would have been the dumbest dummy move any dummy could ever dumb. Humans cannot defeat Greek gods, buddy. This isn't Record of Ragnarok.
It is said the other gods wanted to simply lay waste to Acrisius and his army. But Zeus loved man too much.
That's some BS if I've ever heard it. Zeus orchestrated the opening of Pandora's jar, which unleashed every evil onto humanity. He also flooded the entire Earth at one point, killing almost everybody. The only way Zeus truly loves humans is in the non-consensual way.
He disguised himself as the king and visited the chamber where the king's wife was sleeping.
Zeus actually hooked up with Acrisius' daughter, not his wife. And he didn't do it in the form of the king. He did it in the form of a golden shower. No, not that kind. Get your mind out of the gutter. Well, maybe not completely out of the gutter. This is still Zeus we're talking about.
I curse you, Zeus! I deny you the body you soiled, and the bastard child within!
Zeus did not electrocute and disfigure Acrisius.
Here's who you drew into this, Perseus. An honor god.
Perseus went on his journey alone. He was aided by the gods at times, but no human honor guard.
Do you know what the Kraken is?
The Kraken is the end of us.
A colossal elemental beast. It doesn't think, it doesn't feel. Even the gods fear it.
No, they don't.
Good news! My brother and I have decided to accompany you on your journey.
We have enough strangers here.
We can be of great help to you. Trust me, you will need us.
I need soldiers, not hunters.
Which one of your soldiers knows how to cut the impenetrable skin of the Nemean lion? Which one of them knows the soft points on a centaur's armor? Which one of them knows which jugular to slice on a 5-headed hydra?
Don't listen to them, Perseus. These guys are clearly scammers. The Nemean lion and the hydra won't be slain for another few generations. And when they do, it'll be by your own descendant, Heracles. Plus, centaurs aren't even known for wearing armor. These dudes are definitely lying. Or these are just a bunch of inaccuracies.
A gift from the gods. Forged on Olympus. Why? Just accept it.
I can do this as a man. So it's yours.
The gods did give Perseus a sword in the myth, but it was shaped more like this. Also, he refuses it in this movie, but gladly accepts it in the myth. Oh, and the gods also gave him a reflective shield, flying shoes, a magic bag, and a cap of invisibility, but none of that appears here. The gods did not send Pegasi to Perseus. There was only one Pegasus in Greek mythology, and he shouldn't even exist yet since Medusa's still alive. More on that later.
What do you want from me? Zeus's seed in your wife survived. The child of your shame. Perseus. What would you have me do? Zeus must think I serve him, but I am growing stronger. Use this. Kill Perseus for me, and I'll destroy Zeus for you. You reek of your father.
Acrisius didn't go after Perseus. He constantly tried to stay away from him because there was a prophecy that Perseus would kill him one day.
Look! His blood!
In this film, the blood of Acrisius spawns monsters, whereas in the myth, it was Medusa's blood that did that. And it didn't spawn scorpions, it spawned serpents, one of which had 2 heads.
What are they?
Jinn.
Jinn? Jinn? What do you mean, Jinn? Jinn are magical, malevolent beings from Persian mythology. These guys aren't just in the wrong story, they're in the wrong freaking culture.
What is this place? The Garden of Stygia. This is where the Kraken defeated the Titans.
No, it didn't. Cetus had no involvement in the Titanomachy.
Just have one question.
I see what looks like a full set of teeth here, despite the fact that the Grey Sisters are supposed to all share one tooth, just like how they share one eye.
How do we kill the Kraken?
There is a solution. But it is an impossible one.
Yeah!
Gorgon Medusa. Anything of flesh is killed by her gaze. Killed by her. Her prison lies across the river Styx, at the edge of the underworld.
Medusa didn't live in the underworld. She lived on an island when Perseus came for her.
A titan against the titan.
She's no use against the Kraken. We can't control her.
Did they just refer to Medusa and Cetus as titans? Is that seriously what's being said right now? What kind of logic is even being used here? Oh, wait a minute, is that what this movie means by Clash of the Titans? Movie, you're gonna pull a muscle with how far you're reaching.
But wait, there's more. Don't you want to know more?
Perseus, no.
Tell him. Tell him.
What?
Your journey does not end well. You will die, son of Zeus.
This was not part of what the Grey Sisters told Perseus. It doesn't even actually happen in this movie, so why include this pointless fake drama?
Who are you?
Well, you can call me Father.
Weirdly enough, Perseus never actually met his father during his journey. He met Hermes and Athena, but never Zeus.
Your blood is mine, Perseus, and that makes you a god.
No, it doesn't. Zeus was also the father of Helen, Minos, Cetus, Iarbas, Iasion, Coloxus, Latinus, Manes, Megaris, Myrmidon, Polydeucus, Zethus, Tantalus, Sarpedon, Pelasgus, Hierophile, Arcus, Amphion, Amathion, Endymion, Epaphus, and several others. None of them were gods.
So what happens when we get there? Just another beast to kill.
A beast. Medusa was beautiful once. So beautiful as to tempt Poseidon. When he came for her, she ran to Athena's temple, thinking that the goddess would protect her. She didn't. Poseidon took her on the cold floor. She prayed to Athena for comfort, but the goddess felt nothing but disgust. She made sure no one would ever want Medusa again.
Okay, there's a few different versions of the Medusa story. In the oldest version, Medusa was a monster straight from birth. In the later Hesiod telling, Medusa seduced Poseidon in the Temple of Athena, and was punished for it. The version being told here is from the even later Ovid version, which is still valid overall, so whether or not this is inaccurate depends on which version you consider the definitive one. The Ovid version is technically Roman, though.
What Perseus said.
Medusa seems to have a rattle on her snake tail, even though rattlesnakes are native to America. Also, Medusa does not have a serpentine lower half. That is a common misconception which resulted from people confusing her with Echidna. Medusa was actually asleep when Perseus showed up. It's the main reason he was able to kill her pretty easily. Also, where the heck are her sisters? Stheno and Euryale were with her in her dwelling and nearly killed Perseus on his way out. Perseus chops off Medusa's head here, and yet Pegasus and Chrysaor are not springing out from her neck. Yeah, that's how Pegasus was born. Gorgon biology is weird.
Perseus, don't become one of them.
That's not how Acrisius died. Perseus, kind of comedically, killed him by accident during a disc-throwing competition.
The eclipse.
Did the writers forget that these characters are currently in the underworld? How on earth can they see the sun and moon from the underworld? Most versions of Greek myths say that Perseus used his winged shoes to fly, and the first person to actually ride Pegasus was a hero named Bellerophon. But there do seem to be some versions stating that Perseus rode Pegasus after it sprung from Medusa, so I guess it counts.
You'll watch while my blessed avenger devours their hopes, and then finally you'll know my pain.
There is still a demigod in Argos, brother.
Hades, if you want Perseus dead, just kill him yourself. You're a literal immortal god. Wait a minute, why didn't you just kill him while he was in the underworld? That's your domain, and the other gods can't see what happens down there, as was said in the tale of Persephone. Again, we're in a situation where multiple versions of the story exist. Some versions say that Perseus actually killed Cetus with his sword, and the blood of Cetus is what turned the Red Sea red. But there are also versions where he just uses the head to turn it to stone, so yeah, we're good here. That's not how King Cepheus died. Like his wife, he was turned to stone when he accidentally looked at the head of Medusa. Really, Perseus? You're just gonna drop the head of Medusa into the ocean randomly? That's pretty irresponsible, dude. That's like one of the most powerful weapons ever. You're not gonna give it to Athena so she can stick it on her shield like in the myth?
I'm a god. I will live forever.
But not here.
Perseus's sword did not have thunder powers. There is a distinct lack of Andromeda's ex-boyfriend showing up to claim her and getting turned to stone here.
You won't stay, will you? Perseus Argos needs a ruler.
I cannot be a king.
Yes, you can. You became the king of Argos in the myth, and you did a really good job. Trust me, bro, you can totally do this.
And if you insist on continuing this mundane human existence, I won't have you do it alone. You're the son of Zeus, after all.
Zeus brings Io back from the dead here, but nobody can restore the dead to life without permission from Hades. Given the events of this movie, I don't see that happening. There were absolutely no Titans in this movie. This title is a lie. No, Medusa and Cetus aren't Titans. You take that BS logic out to the streets!
Bear witness, Zeus, and all you gods of high Olympus, I condemn my daughter Danae and her son Perseus to the sea. Her guilt and sin have brought shame to Argos.
Acrisius didn't throw his daughter into the sea because of shame or sin. He did it because he was told a prophecy that her son would kill him one day. And this was his way of preventing that.
As we feared, King Acrisius of Argos has abandoned his daughter and her child to the sea.
And he will be punished. Cruel and ruthless crime. Blasphemy. How dare the tyrant pray to me to forgive his savage jealousy?
I'm not even gonna start with how hypocritical that statement is coming from you, buddy. Also, why does Zeus have lion and serpent statues next to his throne? Those animals aren't associated with him.
The death of a girl and her child.
Girl? His daughter!
After a lifetime's respect and devotion.
Enough, I've decided. Acrisius must be punished, and his people with him.
Zeus actually did not punish Acrisius for his actions in any way, even though he honestly should have. Argus was never destroyed or even attacked by the gods or Cetus.
Danae and her child have been brought safely to the island of Seriphos.
In the myth, it was Zeus who guided the box to safety. Here, it seems to have been Poseidon.
And what of my son, Calibos?
There is no character named Calibos in all of Greek mythology. Certainly not one who serves as the antagonist in the Perseus story.
Trapped and killed my sacred herd of flying horses, and now only the stallion Pegasus remains.
Zeus did not have any sacred herd of flying horses. Pegasus was the first of his kind, and does not become a servant of Zeus until the end of the tale of Bellerophon, which takes place much later than the tale of Perseus.
This is my final judgment.
No, I implore you. He is to marry the princess Andromeda.
Before she met Perseus, Andromeda was betrothed to a man named Phineus, not Calibos. Oh, and he was her uncle. Stay classy, Greece.
Son of Zeus is to be left to the whim of chance. Time you saw something of the world, Perseus. Far to the east, across the sea. In Joppa. In the kingdom of Phoenicia.
In this film, the goddess Thetis teleports Perseus to another land and sets him on his journey. As stated before, Perseus's journey began when he was tasked with killing Medusa. There was no Thetis and no teleporting.
Who are you?
First tell me where I am!
Where?
Where am I?
What do you mean you don't know where you are?
I don't know.
Now let's be patient for a moment. My name is Ammon. I am a poet and a playwright.
And I wasn't in the myth. Ammon is actually the name of a location.
You set him down, half naked, in a strange, despairing city.
Chance?
Nothing to do with chance, and you know it. A deliberate and malicious act. Unworthy of a goddess.
Oh yeah, Greek goddesses never commit deliberate malicious acts. It's absolutely unheard of. So long as we don't bring up Hera torturing innocent women out of jealousy and forcing Heracles to kill his own family, or Aphrodite cursing a young girl because her mom said she was prettier than her, or Artemis killing a man for staring at her, or Athena beating up Arachne and deforming Medusa, or Leto having her kids murder all of Niobe's children, or Eris going around starting wars for fun, or...
We get the idea.
One thing's certain. My son needs more than an actor's painted cloak and a wooden sword. Provide him with suitable weapons. Weapons of divine temper. A helmet, a sword, a shield.
And a cape, and flying shoes, and a magic bag. Do not devalue the magic bag.
As you say, so many women and all these transformations and disguises he invents. In order to seduce them, sometimes a shower of gold, a bull or a swan. Why, once he even tried to ravish me, disguised as a cuttlefish.
Funnily enough, Zeus never tried to ravage Thetis. He actually almost married her at one point, but canceled the wedding after a prophecy said she would bear him a son who'd be stronger than him. Very similar to the story of Metis. That right there is actually a Persian Sphinx statue, not a Greek one. The one on the right is a Greek Sphinx, but somebody made a boo-boo on this one.
And besides, whoever marries her will rule the city and the kingdom. For such a prize, men are willing to risk their lives. They have only to solve a riddle.
There was never any riddle-solving competition to marry Andromeda. Given all the Sphinx statues I'm seeing, I believe this is meant to be a reference to the riddle of the Sphinx myth, but that happens during the tale of Oedipus and takes place in Thebes. There are no gigantic vultures in Greek mythology. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Andromeda. I found my destiny.
Perseus's first encounter with Andromeda was when he happened to spot her chained up in the ocean as a sacrifice to Cetus. Yeah, no. In order to tame Pegasus, you need a magic golden bridle created by the gods. This random rope ain't gonna cut it.
I give Andromeda the most beautiful of all prizes, more beautiful than anything on earth or in heaven, even more lovely than the goddess Thetis herself.
Once again, wrong kind of stupid. Closer, but not quite there.
Your helmet is gone.
Deep in a swamp. Lost forever.
Perseus didn't lose his helmet in the myth, he ended up returning it to the gods.
By the gods, an owl. Golden owl.
There are actually a lot of robots in Greek mythology, including robotic birds. But alas, no robotic owl in the tale of Perseus.
If the eyes of Medusa, even after her death, can turn all living creatures into stone, what about the blood?
Deadly and poisonous.
That depends on where the blood comes from. Blood from one side of a Gorgon is deadly, but blood from the other side can cure anything.
Medusa. She was priestess to Aphrodite.
Athena, actually.
Sleep now. Sleep.
Ditching your fiancé while she's asleep is really more of a Theseus thing than a Perseus thing. Is that Orthrus? Wow, I never see him in anything, so nice. Still inaccurate, though, since Orthrus lives on Gurion's farm, not on Medusa's island. Orthrus was slain by Heracles, not Perseus. Perseus didn't lose the shield either. He gave that back as well. The Cetus designs in both of these movies have been pretty different from any of Cetus's ancient depictions. Hi, thanks for watching, and thanks so much to all the beautiful people on Patreon who helped make this series possible. People like Lilith Jade Vaughn, Gilda Ramos, Double Ditto, Gavin Lothar, Matthew Owen, Miyaka041, That Guy, Adam Whaley, Anthony Miano, Justin Pruitt, Man-Eating Mare, Zaggard, AC Stevens 08, Airtank 58, Alex, Average Brexit Geezer, Black-Chinned Hummingbird, Kane Kendrick, CJ the Boy, Krill E. Dara, Damian Fireheart, Dominic Fournier-Bessner, Emily Brandt, Feel the Wrath, Habalon, James H., Jeff Jeffington, Jeremy Sunday, Cade, Carrie692, Kevin, Lassie Ehrenreich, Marco Gonzalez, Maria Potter, Nathaniel Frey, Quick to Adjust, Ricky Neboe, Saint Wolfman, Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, and Mags. Thank you guys so much. Your support really does go a long way. If you want to join the Patreon and help keep this series going, also get access to certain videos I can't put on YouTube, or get access to videos early while claims clear on YouTube, and be able to message me directly, consider joining us. But even if you don't join the Patreon, you're still supporting me a ton just by watching all my videos, so thank you so much.